Driving on the highway, far away.
Happy second anniversary to Effective Living.
Every moment I was spending on regrets was such a waste, such a waste, such a waste. Looking on the city lights, flashing bright in my eyes. Look up to the sky and I got this relief inside. Then there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up.
Effective Living is celebrating 2 years, and we're so grateful to all of our clients here in the United States and around the world. It is our goal to help people create a life they don't need a vacation from. And today, all we decided to do was to take some time out, bring the community together here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's been a great day. It's been a great year. We're looking forward to year 3, y'all. We're getting stronger. We're getting better. We're helping people join the movement.
A stranger on a foreign land, far away, far away.
Bag it up.
Happy anniversary, Effective Living.
Could be a different man. Looking on the city lights, flashing bright in my eyes. Look up to the sky and I got this relief inside. Then there's no need to hide. I'm going all the way up. I'm going all the way up. I'm letting go in my heart of everything that holds me.
Happy second
Effective Living. I am so glad I'm a part of this community, because this is a community that is teaching us that we can have a life that we do not need a vacation from. If you are not a part of Effective Living, can I encourage you to become a part of Effective Living with Ricardo Miller. Happy second anniversary.
I will be there if you need me. I believe that we can grow.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. We're excited because we're going all the way up. Going all the way up. All right now. All right. Pastor Sherree, how are you doing, lady?
I am doing wonderful today.
Man, I'm so excited about what God's doing in this season. Thank you for accepting our invitation to celebrate 2 years with us. I mean, you saw this thing before it even initially was launched. You were in the Bahamas when the big announcement occurred that I was making some changes.
I was there, and when you did it, I was like, that's so dope. Perfect too. So
listen, so you were watching from the sideline, and you were there in the country. You saw some changes starting to take place. You were there during my book release. You were part of the virtual book release last year in the midst of the pandemic. Man, what's your thought on this last 2 years? I mean, could you believe it's been 2 years already?
yeah, no. First of all, I feel like we lost a whole year and a half a little bit with the pandemic. You just looked up and it's a whole new year, and it's almost on the second half of that year now.
Yeah.
But you know what? I remember when you said you had this announcement. I'm trying to rack my brain trying to figure out what it could be. Now, I was shocked about the whole children's ministry thing because you were the children's ministry guy.
Yeah.
But
as I sat there, I was like, but he kind of been preparing us for this.
Right. Yeah.
So, it was like that initial shock. Wait, you're not gonna do the kids,
Yeah.
but when you explained it and how you expanded it, I was like, let's go. This is dope. And then last year we did, we went from the children's ministry to the influencers for, including other ages. And so it's been natural. And so congratulations on these 2 years.
Yeah.
Listen, and just to watch the growth, even during the pandemic and the different things you did, from the book release to, all the little workshops and talks and, not little, but the workshops and talks that have been going on, just leading even up to this point and just seeing people empowered and growing. Man, keep
You've
doing
been working it. We've been working it. And I'm grateful because I have a team. And I told them the latter part of this year, I'm focusing even more on team because there's so much more God wants to do. But in addition, I'm a big believer in baby steps. I tell people when the dust settles, I'll still be around. And the goal is to keep making progress. The goal is to keep making progress. And I was looking at 2019. I was doing videos. I don't know if you remember, I used to do videos in the gym. I was doing early. Yeah. I was doing early morning videos in the gym. And now Facebook gives you the opportunity to look back and see some of those. And I was like, boy, what a journey. It's been amazing.
Yeah, it has. It absolutely has been amazing. I remember those early morning gym things. And I was laying in the bed watching you in the gym. Yep. Go get it, Ricardo.
Listen, that for our viewing audience who don't know Pastor Sherree Lee, tell them who you are. And I know you got 2 little songs going off every now and again. Tell us about those 2 sounds as well.
All right, so it's actually 3 sounds now.
Okay.
We've had an addition. So those are my little fur babies because my husband and I are empty nesters.
Yes.
So he decided that we should have a dog, a kid. And so we had 3 children, and so now we have 3 dogs. And so they're little bitty dogs. So and they love their mother. So you'll hear them ever so often in the back, letting me know, hey, mommy, hurry up. So
come on.
But for those of you who don't know me, I'm Sherree Lee. I am on the I got so much going on. So I'm an ordained elder in our church. I was our children's pastor for 13 years at our church, and I retired and really kind of dug my heels into the arts and entertainment mountain, as we call it at our church, or sphere of influence. Because at the end of the day, that's where my heart is. I ran a non-for-profit performing arts program for kids for 10 years. I just recently stopped doing that because I was doing so much other stuff. My most recent thing is my husband and I, along with 2 other business partner friends, owners, we opened up a restaurant / live entertainment venue, literally right before the pandemic.
Wow. Yeah.
Literally 2.5 months before the pandemic. So, but I'm happy to say we're open and we're moving ahead. And so I do that, as well as you can see behind me, I purposely picked this backdrop to celebrate Ricardo and his 2 years. But my daughter and I started another part of our business, which she has a clothing line called Lovely Styles Clothing Company. And so this is the Lovely Styles Designs, where we decorate your event.
Yeah.
So we do that. And, I also do face painting. And so, I do a whole lot. Every gift that God put in me. I know some people said, Jack of all trades, master of none. Nope. I'm going to do every single thing that God has for me to do.
I heard Bishop Jakes talked about that. He's talked about how we became a society that tried to overemphasize one thing, and we cage or box people in these one ideas that we feel as though you should give your life to, when you could have multiple dynamics And everybody may not be that way, but there are those who have the ability to do 4 and 5 things and feel good about the 4 and 5 things that they're doing.
Yeah. And then I can, do it when I feel like it.
Exactly. That's effective living right there. That's a big part of what I believe is, you see what I says? Doing what you want to do, when you want to do it. Come on.
As I say, I can do it when I want to do it.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, today I want us to really focus on uniqueness, because that's a unique position. And a lot of people don't live a unique position because we've been taught to fit in rather than stand out.
Yep.
For you, when did you learn that you were more of a stand out person rather than a fit in person?
Probably kindergarten. I have always been that person who, just stands out. I know it's a way to do things, but if that way didn't work for me, I figured out another way to do it as a little girl. And so, for me, being a creative, because I've always been a creative. That's one thing I do know about me, is I've always been a creative. You can't box creatives in.
Right.
So, I'm always trying to be different, and not even just trying to, I just am different.
Right.
What I've done is I've embraced my differentness or my uniqueness.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, sometimes it's just like, that may be too much for them to handle. And then I start thinking, you know what, then I'm just not for them and I'm okay.
Yeah. When you say that, because I'm gonna play off a lot of what you say, because I'm really interested in helping our viewing audience, because a lot of people, they will suppress themselves to be okay with others when it actually takes them away from being their best self. The goal is to become your best self, but if you have been raised in a society that is pushing you to sort of get all thumbs up, you're going to lose yourself. And so that whole idea, when you were growing up, you decided, I'm different. I don't fit in the mold that everybody else fits in. Talk to us a little bit about the moment where there was a struggle to fit in versus the struggle to stay true to yourself. And maybe how did you feel, or how did you communicate, or did you communicate to anybody that, you know what, it is what it is?
So let me, for one, Ricardo, you know me, I'm always going to keep it 100.
Yeah.
I still have those struggles today.
Yeah.
With, is it okay to be me? Because again, I'm a hard pill to swallow.
Right.
I'm a lot.
Right.
I work
hold on. You see that even that statement. I love that statement, because being able to be free enough to be able to say, I'm a lot. Hey, as a matter of fact, someone said to me maybe a couple of years ago, I was doing a live and the guy said, man, the content was so good. He said it was exactly what I needed. And my wife told me to give you a call and thank you for saying what you said, because it was necessary. And then he said, after he had made the commitment to call me, she said, you should go in his coaching service. But he said, man, brother, I no offense, I just got to tell you, you're a little bit too much for me. And that statement have a negative connotation to it oftentimes. But you just said, I'm a lot. I'm a lot.
A lot. And matter of fact, so I have my friends group, and we wear shirts. I bought us shirts. Yeah. I actually made them because I make t-shirts too.
Come on. Yeah.
I some shirts, and it was like the blank friend. And for mine, I put the do too much friend. Yeah. Because I am I'm sitting on your live right now with a whole backdrop in front of me, and I'm at my house.
Right. Yes.
It's at my house right now.
Come on. Yes.
Because my daughter decided, you know what? Let's do a photo shoot.
Yeah. Nice.
And so we put balloons up, and she did a photo shoot.
Nice.
And now how many people would take their front room?
Yep.
And I have white furniture in my front room.
Yeah.
Move it to the side, to do a photo shoot, and then leave it up for a couple days. And it came in handy for this. I'm like, I'm of this. And I say all that to say, to answer your question, there are still times when I realize that I'm too much, and sometimes I want to shrink because I'm a lot. or I'll find myself second guessing, something that I know God has told me to do or be or experience, but because it doesn't look like anybody else is doing that, I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Should I be doing this? And then I'm like, what? But that's why God told me to do it.
Yeah.
And not them. And so it is tough sometimes to be unique. My mother, you asked who did I talk to? My mother would be like, girl, you're always doing something.
Yeah.
I literally heard that my entire life.
Wow.
You always doing something. And I'm like, yeah, because I got to figure out what I should be doing at this time,
Yeah.
So that's literally all the time, and then I'm watching now because my po baby, my daughter, I've done the same thing to her, and that's how we started t-shirts. She was like, hey, Mom, you want to make t-shirts?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what we need to do to make t-shirts? She was like, well, I saw we need to get this machine. The 2 days later, because of Amazon Prime, what we needed, and we started making t-shirts.
Yeah.
So listen, I'm like, yeah, we're creative. We can do that. Literally every business I have came out of the uniqueness that I am.
Yeah. I like that. The reason why I wanted to have this as a conversation, because I know this is a real struggle. I struggled with this for years. And what people see today, what happened in the last 2 years, I was talking to a colleague and I said, it feels great to get up in the morning, to do what I do on a weekly basis, and don't feel the need to have to look for a thumbs up.
Yeah.
And now don't get me wrong, I'm appreciative of encouragement. I'm appreciative to those who, are giving the thumbs up. But at the end of the day, I am being true to myself. Now, it took me a while to get there. And so on this platform, Effective Living, you can't live life effectively if you're not yourself.
And let me just thank you for being yourself, because when I refer to how a person brands who they are, I'll be like, listen, let me show y'all my friend Ricardo. He is unapologetically who he is. And when I get a little like, ooh, I'll be like, listen, Ricardo got his face on t-shirt. I got about 4 of them in my drawer. So the fact that this dude got me with his face on my because he believe, you know what I'm saying? That's you. Because I know that wasn't just something that was like, okay, and I know it didn't come without criticism. I still got those shirts with your face on it, that I wear when I'm not with you.
No, you got to know how that shirt was inspired, okay? Let me tell you something. I went into a store to buy some shirts for a conference, right? When I walked into the store, at the time I was doing children's ministry, and I felt, you know what? A good friend of mine said, as a leader, it's important that you mold, work, develop yourself to be an inspiration for people. That's what leaders do. Leaders inspire. And he says, in children's ministry, you want to be the guy that people says, you know what? I went to Bible college because Ricardo Miller did children's ministry so well. I wanted to do children's ministry. You remember in the music industry, you familiar when how music evolved, where there were key people then became committed to worship and becoming worship artists because certain guys decided to push the envelope when no one had pushed it before and set a standard. And so I went into this store and they had these shirts on the wall, but here's the deal. It was all celebrities. It was, what's this? They had this shirt says, Barack Obama, President of the United States, Michael Jackson, King of Pop. They had James Brown, King of Soul, Whitney Houston. They had Michael Jordan and all this stuff, right? And I was like, where's the minister up there? I asked the guy, I said, where is the minister? And the guy was like, there ain't no minister gonna be on no shirt. I said, I need to get one of those shirts and do Ricardo Miller, the children's ministry guy. And let me tell you something, I went and bought that shirt, called my t-shirt guy, asked him to print 250 of them. When he printed them, Sherree, I got them, I rolled them, took them to a conference I was about to speak to, saying I was gonna sell them for $10 each. Then I said, no, ain't nobody gonna wear those shirt with my picture on it. I was like, oh Jesus. I went into the first session. I took it off the table. They were under the table. I was like, I can't sell them, right? Then I said, you know what I'm gonna do? This is like a 3-day conference. The second day, I was like, I'm gonna give them away. I went into the meeting. The first session happened. I didn't give them out to anybody. But then I ran out of prizes to throw out. All right? I had 2 more sessions. I ran out of prizes, and I just threw out 3 shirts. And one lady opened it up. She said, I need one of these for my friend. What did you just say? I need one of these for my friend. I threw out another one. Long story short, the last 2 sessions, people were walking in the hall and said, hey, can I get one of those shirts as well? And when I was leaving the airport, tears could have took over me because I saw people in the airport with my shirt on. I'm talking about the group, and I said, Jesus Christ. And you know, not sure, I gave away all those shirts because I didn't know how to sell them.
But listen, years later, I still have shirts with your face on it.
Hey, and now I do sell them.
Yes, you do. And people buy them.
Yes, and people buy them.
Just from you being willing to be who you are and different. Because like you said, you didn't see not one minister's face on the shirt.
Yeah.
And now I have several.
Yeah, I know, right? It's funny, the Morinos did a little funny video. And you know, those 2, Guy and Esther Moreno, they're the funniest on the planet.
They just came to Culture, by the way.
Say it again?
They just came to Culture, by the way, this week.
Hey, listen, we're coming. I'm coming to I can't believe they beat me, but they're from Chicago. That's okay.
Yeah.
but they did this small video where Esther was like, I need to go get a shirt to work on. And she went in and she was like, not this shirt, not this shirt, and not this shirt. And Guy was like, how many of those shirts you got? And it was like a drawer full of the recountable shirts. I love you guys. Thank you all for the encouragement, because over the years, I must say, I had my moments when I questioned what I felt a release to do. I want you to talk about that. There's this release to do what you're feeling challenged to do, because you may have not seen anybody else do it. Now, people are doing it. It's just that they're not in our zip code oftentimes. They're not in our circle.
Yep.
Talk to us.
So I started a performing arts program for kids. And so what happened was my pastor came to me, and we had a Christian school. And it was during when we were going into the recession.
Yeah.
And, you know, the school wasn't doing as well as they wanted it to do. And so he came and he asked me to take over the school. Now, the first thing is, I'm like, I'm not even almost qualified to do this.
Yeah.
I cannot do that. And so, you know, my pastor asked me, was I not qualified or credentialed?
Yeah.
And I had to think about it. And I said, well, I guess I'm not credentialed, because, you know, I didn't have papers of being a principal, and he wanted me to run the school. But I'm like, but if I'm going to run the school, I have to do something that I have a passion for.
Right.
And so I changed our school from just a regular academic school to a performing arts school, because I knew what performing arts could do for kids, and how it could help kids who learn differently learn. Now, of course, to the academic people, it was like, no, you're going to change us from this academic school to a performing arts school, and we don't know about that. And I'm like, well, listen, if I'm going to be the one to do it, this is what it's got to be. And you know, the program was successful. I ran that program for 10 years. I took it from being a regular school to a summer program and an after school program, because those were where children were lacking. You know, the parents didn't have anywhere for their kids to go for summer. Parents didn't have anywhere for the kids to go for after school. So I changed it to that. Not only did I teach the kids in front of the camera and on the stage, but it was really important for me to teach the kids behind the stage. And so they learned how to operate cameras, and to write scripts, and to direct, and to build sets, you know, because that was important. Now, nobody in our area, and today, there is still not another program that is doing what we did. And now I met a need of the community that they didn't even know they needed. And so even now, a lot of my kids, they're grown and I'm running into them. And it's funny because they're like, I'm doing this because you taught me this at KPA too. I literally today I got an inbox from one of my former students who is an actor now, has an agent and all of that. And guess what? He was asking me about being a youth leader. Now he's 26 years old now. And he was like, I want to be a youth leader. That blew me away. Wow. He goes to a whole nother church now. And I said, listen, no problem. Let me connect you to who is doing this right now. Right. And so, you know, just imagine if I didn't have that little performing arts program back when, you know, when everybody else was saying I should do regular stuff. Just imagine. So I have to listen, I'm a lot, but I'm also okay with who I am.
Hey, listen, somebody needs to write that. I'm going to own that statement moving forward. I'm a lot and I'm okay with who I am, man. Oh, man, that is so good. That is so powerful. Now, let's talk about this. Along the way, there are things one must accept in order for you to embrace your uniqueness. Be it one of the things I struggled with for a long time was my accent. You know, sometimes people were like, you know, you don't pronounce words correctly. Like, and I'm like, you know what? The Holy Spirit had to say to me one time, everybody sounds funny somewhere. Oh man, when I was able to own that statement, everything changed. And that was, everybody sounds funny somewhere. I believe she's frozen. What we're going to do, we're going to come back because I want to dive into this talk because we're not going anywhere. We're going to dive into this whole subject of uniqueness with Pastor Sherree Lee here on Effective Living. Check this out. We'll be right back. Sherree, we close for a minute, but we'll be right back. We'll fix something. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We froze for a minute, I think it was. But I wanted to work that statement about, you know, you mentioned that I'm a lot, but I'm okay. I said I wanted to dive into some of the necessary things that one must accept on our journey to embracing our uniqueness. And I mean, my accent, I said for a long time, was something people would talk about. And the Holy Spirit had to tell me, everybody sounds funny somewhere. Mm-hmm. If you from Chicago go to New York, they're like, oh man, you ain't from here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And someone from Texas go to Mexico, they're like, oh man, he talks funny. And so forth. So I had to learn to be okay. What were some of the things that you would say a person just really need to harness to embracing your uniqueness?
That you are not everybody's cup of tea.
Woo-hoo.
That's the biggest thing. You know, everybody, again, I'm hard pill to swallow. Yeah. And I'm not everybody's thing, and it's okay. Yeah. But I'm a lot, because I have a lot to give out to somebody. And I can't waste my energy on worrying about somebody who just can't take that I got, 5 different colors on my nails. I can't, and I not to say waste my time, but I got to make sure I keep the energy for who God has assigned me to. Everybody is not your assignment, and it's okay. That's the biggest thing, because you'll be messing around trying to put this square peg into this round hole, and it's a whole bunch of squares over here just waiting for you, and you're missing it because you're trying to force something that doesn't go. So I think for me, that was the first thing. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and it's okay. That doesn't mean that I dislike them. I'm not mad at them. I just move around. Let me get to where I'm supposed to be and who I'm supposed to be. Because you'll waste time and you'll be trying to convince them that you're enough and that, this is what God has told you to do. And no matter what, they won't get it because you're not their assignment. So that's the first thing. The other thing is just being okay with who I am for me. Because sometimes I'm a lot for me. I'm like, now, God, listen, you want me to do what, when, how, or how about this? You want me to do what, when, and you ain't told me how? Just tell me how. That's the other thing, is just being okay with who I am. And then always learning more about me. Listen, Jay said Black people don't go to therapy. I'm in therapy right now, just to make sure that I protect all the stuff that God has in me, and it's like, wait, you do counseling yourself? I sure am. Because I need to make sure while I'm getting everybody else's stuff dumped in me, I'm not taking it on, and I'm able to make sure I'm good. And so those are those checkups that we need. Now, I'm not saying your checkup got to be therapy, but it may be talking to somebody or having an accountability person, or, just bouncing ideas off of somebody who gets who you are, because you can't bounce ideas off somebody who don't get the whole lot thing. So
I like that. You said something, those persons who get who you are. And what I want our viewing audience to capture is someone does get you. Somebody is for you. I mean, with over 8 billion people on the planet, one of the greatest things that I've come to accept is there are some circles out there, as I am a circle, that will embrace me among the other circles, because we all circles. And you just got to know that. And so I've been using the term that not everybody is for KFC, but that's okay. KFC is still global. Not everybody is for Popeyes, and that's okay. Popeye is saying, listen, we ain't trying to be KFC, and KFC ain't trying to be Popeyes, but at the end of the day, there's enough for both. Along with a couple other 100 dozen chicken optional places in the world. And so when it comes to people owning that, though, it's still such a struggle, because our society, it encourages us to try to fit in. It encourages us to try to be alike. And it takes courage. So let's talk about that. The courage to stand alone, the courage to be yourself, the courage to know that you won't be understood or even accepted because of your stance. We live in a society today where that takes a lot.
Yeah. Especially now, with social media, and, it's just access. We have access to so much information, and it went from us having, when the internet first came out, it was just a bunch of information. But now it's, I see you in your house. I see you, people just have taken it to the thing. And so, but what we don't realize is even right now, I'm showing you what I want you to see in my house.
Right.
I don't got the camera walking around. Listen, you're going to see this, and that's it. And that's what we do. And that's what others do. And so the first thing is, let's not get caught up in what we see other people doing, because that sometimes diminishes our courage to do what we're supposed to be doing. Because I know sometimes I'll be watching like, oh, I'm doing balloons, but they did balloons and flowers.
Yeah, yeah.
They did. Oh my goodness, and it's like, okay, I should be. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on, what should you be doing? It's so easy to get caught up in that. Oh my goodness, or chasing the next thing, and the next thing might not be my thing.
Right.
Really, I that's a daily. Hold on, what are you supposed to be doing today? I got that from you, right? My list down on what I'm supposed to do. Write my list down so I don't get off focus. Because what'll happen is I'll start looking at something else and get off focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. And then that'll diminish my courage to do the thing that I know that I'm supposed to do.
Let's talk about this. The scripture says, my God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory. There's something in my heart that I'm ordained to do. And if I would step out of the boat, all things that I need to do what I've been called to do will be attracted to me. T-shirt machine, balloon machine, building for a store, virtual equipment, whatever it is. There is something that I need if I would simply be open to take the step to launch out and be who he created me to be. I could start attracting what he has for me. What's your view on that? Because along the way, you've seen that. You became a magnet to attract what you were interested in. Even if others didn't like what you were about, you still were attracting the things that you were about.
Absolutely. So that's the story of my life. When I get in a position where, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, God, you're going to have to supply it. He has not failed me yet. Now I've been, on the edge, like, okay, now Lord, but and I'm not even being funny.
Yes.
So my brother, who is, I love you, Tony, but he has a different type of lifestyle than I do. He's a little streeter than I am.
Yeah.
And so he's so supportive of what I do. And so he had called me, and it was Mother's Day, and we were trying to figure out what to get my mom for Mother's Day. And he was like, we need to get one of those 360 booths. This is this booth. I didn't even know what a 360 booth was. So this is right before Mother's Day of this year.
Yeah.
And so he was like, we need to get this. This is what I want to get for mama. She want to take pictures, blah, blah, blah. So I do the research, and I see to rent the thing is like a couple grand.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no, I don't think we need a 360 booth. So then he's like, well, we need to buy that. And so I'm like, okay, I kind of brushed him off or whatever. I ended up having I threw myself a half birthday party because I'm unique and I do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I rented this 360 booth. He saw the booth on my pictures and was like, didn't I say I wanted that? And he was like, we need to buy one. He was like, how much is it? I'm like, it's a lot of money. It costs a whole lot of money. He was like, how much does it cost? And I'm like, well, the manual one is this. We should get that one. Or he was like, well, I don't want to have to stand around and spin the thing. Get the automatic one. It was almost double the other one. He sent the money because he was like, I'm not going to run it. You going to run it. He was like, you got a place. You got a building. People come to you. You could say, hey, I got this booth and rent it. Just literally just like that. I looked up, money was in my account to get. Then he was like, go get it tomorrow because I don't want to wait. That literally happens with everything. Listen, if you just show that you have a mind to do stuff and to be different, it'll come. It really will come. Now, it may not just be easy like that, somebody dumping money into your bank account, but it'll come. Listen, I have so many instances of that, excuse me, in my life where it's like, just be you and watch. I'm telling you, your uniqueness will attract what's needed. Because what do we need to seed into 39 things that are the same?
Right.
But I get different. And how about this? even if I'm doing something that somebody else is doing, because it's me, it's automatically different.
Yeah. Cool.
No, like you said, KFC, it's chicken, but so is Chick-fil-A is chicken, Popeyes is chicken, Chicken Coop is chicken, Harold's is chicken, but they all got chicken places.
Yeah.
And how about this? I done been to all of them.
Come on.
Do you see what I'm saying? I done tried all of them. Now, of course, do I have my favorite? Yep, but I done tried them all.
Yes. Yeah.
And this other thing, even though I have my favorite, I don't even always go to that same that same one. I'll still try the others.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Sometimes I get tired of eating my favorite.
Yeah.
So, that's that. I want to say that to the listeners, y'all. Even if you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again, don't get discouraged because it feels like people aren't supporting you.
Yeah.
Or, I always say, people, I hate when I see people on the internet, and on my timeline talk about my friends and family ain't supporting my business, but that just means they're not your customer that day.
That's it. I like what you said that day. I tell people all the time, don't dismiss somebody because today, this week, or this month they didn't support, because you just never know. You just keep chucking at what you're doing, and before you know it, they end up the season shift for them, and they end up being your best client. But because you get haterade and the bad energy that comes from not appreciating the fact that people will come in the season they're supposed to come if you stay faithful.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, that's that is one of the biggest things I tell people. It's okay that I don't go to the same place. I don't buy the same things all the time. You know why? Because for one, I don't want to be looking like everybody else. I want, so I'm always looking for something different. And if I keep going to the same place, that means I'm not going to always get the, embrace the uniqueness that I am. So I'm not tripping that somebody don't come to culture every day that I'm open, or even once a month. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping, because that just means that you're not my customer that day.
That day. What a mindset. And that's what I want us to talk about. I want us to talk about making sure that moving forward, we're getting what I call a healthy mindset, because it's not that someone might have kept it as you're not my customer, but no, don't go that far. You're not my customer that day. And the truth is, seasons, man, seasons. There's seasons come and go. And I know you've been in Chicago for a long time. I've been in Dallas for a long time. I was in Dallas for 20 years. And where you saw us had the fun day in the park, the video that was shown, I was here 20 years and never went to that park. 20 years, didn't even know the park existed. And it is rated, I think, number 2 in the whole Metroplex. Now, here's the deal. It wasn't personal. The season for it wasn't there. Now, here's the deal. Since I've discovered it, I've been on that park almost once a week, if not once a month, doing an event on the park. Now, somebody might have said, oh, my goodness, I can't believe he's using that park. For 20 years, I didn't even know the park exists. Now, it's people like me in this season making that park pop. I'm helping the park to pop because I'm doing relevant events at the park. Now, here's the deal. Did I have anything against the park 10 years ago? No. My season for that park is now. And what we have to realize is that's how people are, and that's how our world functions. Seasons, they come and they go. We just got to be willing to flow. Over the years, you have been able to flow. Yeah. And you've acquired a mindset that has kept you in a good place. Talk to our viewing audience about making sure that they're doing the work to have the right mindset, as the Bible clearly states. As a man thinketh, so is he. So if your mindset is twisted, limited, or watch this, or is contaminated by the ideas that will hinder you from being what you should be, you could be stuck.
Yeah. So again, it's a daily thing. I'm not some super saint. I have to listen. One of the best things I could have read is Hazak yourself. Build yourself up on your most holy faith. I have to do that often because sometimes you don't have somebody pushing you. You don't have somebody saying, oh, you're great, you're wonderful. You know, because there are seasons where I got people, oh my God, Pastor Lee, you're just so wonderful. I want to be like you. And I be like, yeah, I don't know how much you want to be like me. But you know what I'm saying? Then I got those seasons where it's like, hello, you know, so you in those seasons you do get down and you like, okay, am I supposed to, is my season up? It's my time, you know, I have to learn how to hold on. Snap out of it, girl. Get yourself together. Hazak yourself. You know, or how about those times where I just cannot even get to there? God loves me so much that he always sends somebody to get me together.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, and sometimes it be the weirdest people. You know, somebody who maybe didn't like me that much, or somebody who I didn't care for that much, you know, to call and encourage me. Or like I said, it'll be a kid that I taught years ago, you know, but I have to be open to those things too, and constantly remind myself not to close myself out, let alone everybody else. Because sometimes I close myself out.
Yeah, I like that. We're going to bring our talk to a close, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're joined with Pastor Sherree Lee out of Chicago, and we're talking about embracing our uniqueness. And the truth is, you are like no one else on the planet, you know. And when you learn to own that and show up in the space that you're supposed to be as who you were destined to be, your value goes up. Oh man, all right, your value goes up. Now I want you to talk about that. I want you to talk about valuing yourself. I mean, valuing yourself to know that there's things you won't accept, and that's just not me. And then valuing yourself for not settling. Let's talk about that before we bring our talk to a close, because I'm now walking in that space now that, Sherree, for years, I'm telling you, I dumbed down myself trying to fit in so bad. And do you know the crazy thing about it? The people I dumbed down myself to try to fit in and to connect to, they don't even exist in my life right now.
Not thinking about you.
They ain't even thinking about me. They're gone. As a matter of fact, some of them, they weren't thinking about me when I was thinking about them thinking about me.
Absolutely. You know, I think that's the biggest thing too for me is just not dumbing yourself down, you know, or making yourself smaller so somebody else can be okay with them. I'm telling you again that I mean this part. I am a hard pill to swallow. Everybody can't take me.
Come on.
I'm so okay with that. You know, I'm
Everybody can't take me. I do like that.
Listen, I'm okay with that. You know, I used to, and I'm at the point now, like, I don't even know if it was so people would like me or so I could fit in. You know, I used to do stuff I didn't want to do. You know, just so somebody else would be okay. And I'm like, listen, I cannot worry more about you than I do about me. I have to be about my self-care, which is why, you know, kudos to my girls in the Olympics saying, look, I got to take care of me. Because, you know, I think that's the big thing. We have to just make sure that you're good, because I can't make sure somebody else is good if I'm not good. Or I'll have this facade like I'm good, like I'm, you know, progressing, and then I crumble, and then all the other people who thought I was together crumble too. Listen, I'm so 100. Everybody knows that about me. And it's like those people who don't like that, it's okay, because I only know how to be me, and I got me down pat. So listen, I'm a great me. So I'm gonna just keep being me, you know, and I'm not gonna try to be you, and I don't even want you to try to be me. You know, one thing I do realize is I'm an influencer. And, you know, I get people all the time, oh, you know, you goals and your marriage's goals. I'm like, listen, you better get your own goals and go after those and use me just as a, you know, a reference or something. But I don't want to be anybody's goals because nobody will ever be Sherree.
Right.
So, you know, maybe, okay, owning a business is a goal, but I don't want to be your goal because you can't be me. Listen, and you'll never be me. So,
okay, this is the last question for you, man, because that was so good just now. That was so good. I have never heard anybody say it so clear and precise as you did just now. But be rest assured, when you see that again, you're gonna say like he got that from me. Okay, the whole he got that from me. But this is my last question because I like how you said I'm just gonna be me. I'm good at being me. No one can beat me being me. As a matter of fact, somebody needs to say that because there are a lot of people. That's that internal fight. So many people have not gone there to fight and deal with themselves to know that, as you've clearly stated, hey, even me know that I can be a little much for me. Did you hear that? She said, listen, man, not only am I a lot for people, I'm also a lot for me. I so like that. But let's talk about this for a minute as we close our talk out. Some people, you're so confident and so available to show up as you that there are mislabeling of people who have found themselves to be arrogant and cocky. And I think she's like in the term of she's too much, but it's in too much in a negative, derogatory way. And I want you to talk, I want this answer to come to the person who's afraid to be themselves for being misjudged, because sometimes we're going to be misjudged, and I've been there. I obviously some people probably still think I'm a little bit too much, and that's okay. But
this is what I'm about to say to that. I might not be the right person to answer that because I do not even allow myself to get all up in worrying about what you think about me.
Yeah,
no, I just can't. It takes too much energy from me. So, listen, I've got too much time worried about just me and what I think about me to be worried about what you think about me. And more importantly, I heard my husband's uncle said this years ago. And when I say this right here has stuck with me, he said, you are spending time worrying about what people think about you instead of being concerned with what God knows about you. Listen, that right there is my life.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I'm worrying about somebody and they're just going on what they think. And I'm not even worrying about what God knows about me. And that changed my whole life. And so when I get to even almost thinking about what somebody think about me, I'll be like, okay, God, hold on. What say thou?
Yeah.
I mean that.
Yes.
So I don't spend a lot of time trying to figure out. I just don't. Now, again, does it cross my mind? Okay, is this enough? But worrying about if you going no.
Wow.
I just don't. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm the right one to answer.
No, but what you said was great, and I believe it helped someone, and that's what I wanted. I wanted for you to share your truth, and it allows someone to get that light bulb moment, because there are a lot of people who are locked in a box, and until they see a free expression. Some people never have seen a free expression before. I can remember I heard Miles Monroe. This is when my life started to change forever. I went to a conference. Miles Monroe was speaking at his church in the Bahamas, and there was a panel discussion, and a young lady from the Bahamas said something like, one day I want to be a motivational speaker. And he said, okay, good deal. He said, and then she went on to say, I want to be like Les Brown. I want to be like Zig Ziglar. And Miles turned and he said, just like this, are you a Bahamian? I'm like, what is he about to say? He said, you can be, and this was his word, you can be better than them. I'm like, hold on now, Miles. That's Les Brown, that's Zig Ziglar now. You're pushing it a little bit. He said, you can be better than them. What you need to do is learn everything they know, along with what you know, and just keep showing up in the world as who you are with what they know. Guess what? You know what they know, along with what you know, you could be better than them. I have never heard someone spoke so confidently. I said, I want to be like him.
Right.
Right. So, but it wasn't that I was trying to be like him, even though there's this struggle when we say, I want to be like her. I think sometimes we lose ourselves in trying to be exactly, when in truth, we're not saying I want to be like him in exact form, but free like him. Yeah. And that's what I believe when I heard you, and that's what I believe will bless those that are watching. It's not that they're going to try to be a Sherree Lee. What they're going to do is the freedom that you have captured over the years is what I believe some people are. I'm going to pull on that because that's what I'm pulling on right now. For those of you that are watching, y'all don't know. I'm telling you, y'all ain't seen nothing yet because I told you somebody said he's a little much, but you ain't seen that yet because I'm so much more than you've already seen.
Listen, and I'm just waiting because I'm like, okay, God, what else? What else? You know, what else do you have me to do? You know, when I stopped doing the performing arts program, it's funny because my husband was looking for another location for me, like a building. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that anymore. And because like you know, you're the children's ministry guy, I was the, you know, kid person. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm kind of done with kids, you know, and now let me do this part because I like working with young adults now, or I like working with, you know what I'm saying? And it's if you're not careful, he didn't mean any harm by it. He just knew that was something I loved.
Yes.
You know, but if you're not careful, even somebody that close to you could miss it about what your next is and what you should be doing and what, you know, how you should present yourself in the world. You know, and sometimes like, and I know my husband loves me, you know, and I know he didn't mean harm, but it just wasn't for me. But if I had kept, okay, well, you're right, you know, we probably wouldn't have culture today.
Wow.
I probably wouldn't be, you know, helping people with their music careers today.
Wow.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, what a talk. I'm going to watch this over and over. I love it. I love what I do. I love the people that I get a chance to do these talks with because I be picking stuff out. And I was talking with someone a couple of days ago, and I had to remind them. I said, you know, they said, well, I thought you didn't like that. I said, yeah, that was me last month.
Listen, that's what I tell people. Listen, you better know who I am today.
Yeah.
Ever growing, ever changing.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to end on this. You know, I've been married to be 27 years next Friday.
Come on, man. Happy anniversary in advance.
Thank you. And people always say, you know, you got to do what you did to get them. You better keep doing that. And I'm like, if you do what you did when we was 19 to keep me, and I'm almost 50, we got a problem because I'm a different person at
right.
almost 50 than I was at 19.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing in my life. Like you say, listen, something I didn't like. I used to love chocolate covered cherries. My husband bought them all the time. He bought them one time. I was like, you know, I don't like that no more.
Right.
He was like, you don't like it from me? No, I don't like them. You know, so it's like that. Ever growing, ever evolving. Listen, Pastor Ricardo, I've been to your conference or Influencer Summit. You did it. Every single time I'm there. Is my hair the same?
Yeah, no.
I'm a whole different person each and every time. Every single time, I'm a whole different person. Listen, y'all never know yet because I'm growing, changing, and I'm being me. I might have red hair, I might have purple hair, blue hair, no hair.
Yeah.
Gray hair naturally. Now I'm growing like. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be every single thing that I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. I am growing, I'm changing, I am being me. That's what I heard just now. You better own that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us tonight. I'm growing, I'm changing, I am being me. And I'm loving it to the fullest. All of my little indifferences and, you know, what I call shortcomings and all, I understand that, listen, nobody has it all together. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out how to sharpen this saw called Ricardo Miller, and I'm going to cut down the trees in life that God's called me to cut down. I'm going to live it to the fullest. Man, this has been such a rich conversation. Thank you, Pastor Sherree Lee. You are always a blessing.
Thank you for having me. And happy anniversary. This is just the beginning.
2 years. Hey, listen, every month the goal is to get better. Every year, the goal is to get better. And I'm so grateful that you've been a friend along the way, watching and being involved in the process. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you guys. Hey, don't forget Effective Living. Every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock, we're here on social media with some real great conversations happening. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Facebook, like our channel. Share this with someone who needs to connect with their uniqueness. Once again, thank you, everyone. Good night.